Erev Torah B'Tay. I want to tell you a couple more things about what we were talking about yesterday. We were talking about the issue of what's better, right? To learn Torah all day, or to do half and half, 50%, right? Something like this. Something interesting, you have to know also about this, which is that there was a time in history where everything became different. Something was altered about this. So what does that mean? There was a time of Chizkiahu Melech, right? So Chizkiahu was a tzaddik, he was a special tzaddik. His father was a big rasha. You know who was his father, right? Achaz. Achaz, you know what the word Achaz means, right? There's many different meanings with that word, but what it means is that he closed down all the yeshivot, he closed down all the Bet Knesset. He says, I don't want anything open, he was a communist, he was this guy, he was communist. He closed down everything. No yeshivot, no Bet Knesset, no kollel, no nothing, right? Doesn't want this. He closed everything down. That's what they called him, Achaz. Okay, that's something else, right? But anyway, came Chizkiahu, and he did teshuvah from all the sins of Achaz, his father. He did big teshuvah, like we never saw before, right? Everything he turned around. Whatever he damaged, he fixed everything. Chizkiahu, tzaddik. So what happened, they say even, he went very extreme, Chizkiahu. You know how extreme he was? When his father died, Achaz, you know what he did, right? To celebrate his funeral, he took his body, and attached it to, some donkeys, and they dragged his body on the floor, like this, on the floor. Can you imagine? To drag his body on the floor like this. Why did he do such a thing like this to his father? What about Kibbud Avayim? You have to honor your parents? No? What's the answer? So you know the answer is, right? That there's a few things, First of all, there is a machlokta about this, by the way. In the Chazal, if your father is a rasha, are you obligated to honor him or not? Are you obligated to give him kavod or not? Machloket between Rambam and the Tur. Rambam says if he's rasha, you still have to give him kavod. Like this. Tur says, Tur says that no kavod. You're a patur. You don't have to give him kavod. Machloket. The Ramah brings down the Tur on the Shulchan Aruch. Machloket. So, what's halacha bemet, and what does this mean, right? So the truth is, that the Rambam is more glavni posek, than the Tur, So really, the halacha is like the Rambam. He's bigger posek. Man Bet Yosef, he says about the Rambam, he says Rambam ugdola poskim. He's the biggest of the poskim. Number one, Number one posek. So we go like the Rambam. Okay, fine. So halacha is like the Rambam, bemet. But the thing is like this, The Rambam is talking about when your father is a rasha, he's saying that, he does some averot, he does averot. What kind of averot are we talking about? Let's say, he goes and eats in McDonald's, Burger King, right? Neverot v'trefot, things like this, right? But they say, some poskim, that the Rambam is talking about, he's not talking about somebody who's mechalel Shabbat with farhesia, somebody who breaks Shabbat in public. Even the Rambam isn't talking about that. So what does that mean? If he breaks Shabbat in public, or he's a mumar, you know what's mumar? Became a Christian, he changed his religion, became avodah zarah, like this, right? So they say about this, says who says this? The Orach Chaim HaKadosh. He says that even the Rambam is going to tell you not to give him kavod, because Rambam wasn't talking about this kind of rasha, who's breaking Shabbat in public and he's doing avodah zarah, lo aleinu, right? One or the other. That's what the Orach Chaim HaKadosh says. Also, the Aruch HaShulchan writes like this. One of the big Ashkenazi poskim. Same thing he writes also. If he's mechalel Shabbat, you don't have to give him kavod. Even according to the Rambam. You know what it says, right in the Shulchan Aruch? That a person who's mechalel Shabbat b'farhesia in public, or he does avodah zarah, he's like a goy, he's lechol davar. He's like a goy in every way. We treat him like a goy. What do you say about that? Okay, whatever. That's a whole discussion in itself. I'm not going to get into that right now.
While we're there, what about Terach?
Yeah, so Terach was a goy, that's something else, right? We're talking about you have a Jewish father, you know what I mean? Terach is goy. So it's a little bit different,
See, when you say like that, it's kind of your father, let's say he's Rasha.
Okay.
Don't you think Hashem see who is he? He gave him a chance to get himself, bring it to the good path. This is one. Second,
Yeah.
from that Rasha came out, let's say Abraham, or came out like maybe somebody else who is much better than him. It's Chizkiahu, the same thing.
Right.
Right? How he can punish the guy? It's usually weight of Hashem
Yeah.
through Tumah to bring the Samin Kodosh. Like
Right. Okay. Yeah. You're right. What you're saying. That's correct. But the thing is that what happens is like this.
King David's grandfather.
Right. So Terach was a goy. So just to remind you, I want to remind you what Abraham did to Terach. Right. He took his avodah zarah. He broke them all. Made a balagan. So this is not kavod. He didn't give him kavod really. In that sense.
It says that he moved from that place and he went to some place. It's mean he probably took the Teshuvah. Because Terach was one of the vice presidents of the Babylonian king, or whoever was it.
So you know what happened, right? When Abraham broke the idols of Terach went and he informed on him. He went to Nimrod and they put Abraham in jail for 10 years. In 10 years he was in Betakele. He was in Rikers Island for 10 years.
His second son
Yeah.
passed away.
Yeah.
He moved from there.
Yeah, but anyway, right? You see that, you can't really bring something from Terach. That's not really, it's not really a good example.
The laws didn't apply. The Torah was even on Mount Sinai.
Yeah, but Abraham Avinu, he kept all the Torah. It says, right? They kept all the Torah. But the thing is, his father was a goy. Whatever. Okay, whatever. That's a whole discussion in itself. But anyway, right? The bottom line is like this: Chizkiahu, what he did was he dragged his father's bones, his body on the floor, with chamorim. Can you imagine? This is what he did. So why did he do this? As we said, right? Because he was Oved Avodah Zarah. Achaz was Oved Avodah Zarah. He was a biggest Avodah Zarah. Achaz.
Was it
Understand?
Ahaz or Ahab?
No, Achav somebody else. No, different family. This is one mafia. This is a different mafia. Two different mafias. Okay, but anyway, right? So as we said, right? He dragged his bones on the floor. You know why he did this? Because he wanted to show people, that he's a Rasha, we treat him like garbage, he's garbage, this guy, But here's the thing now, interesting, right? If we're going to talk about this issue, the truth is, that even the Rambam would admit that you can do this. And I'll tell you exactly why. Because the Rambam says, why do you have to honor your parents if they're Rashaim? You know why? He says, maybe one day they'll do teshuvah. This is the reason why. Maybe one day they'll teshuvah. So what's going to happen is if they do teshuvah, you're going to be mezalzel, somebody who did teshuvah, and this is going to be no good, But the thing is, once he dies already, he cannot do teshuvah. It's finished, right? Once he dies. So once Achaz died, that's it, right? There's no more teshuvah for him. So even the Rambam would agree, that you don't have to give him any kavod.
But sometimes it says even person when he dies, he's dead. It's like a teshuvah.
Right, but that's kapara. That's something else. Not teshuvah. It's kapara. Right, that's something else. Okay, whatever. Anyway, right, we're gonna get into all that stuff, but anyway, right, what I want to get back to, right, this issue, that what happened with Chizkiahu, he was a very big tzaddik. So you know what he did, right? It says in the Gemara, Chizkiahu, he went to his generation, and he told them, I want everybody to go into the Bet HaMidrash and to learn Torah all day. No jobs, no career, no 47th Street, no bitcoins, no nothing. I want you to sit and learn Torah all day. And he told them, he said, if anybody's going to go out of the Bet HaMidrash, he says, here's the sword, I'll kill him myself. He's going to die. Finished, come on. That's what he told them. Nobody leaves the Bet HaMidrash. That's what he told them, So according to what we said yesterday, it's a little bit strange, right? Why? Because we said yesterday, it depends, If you're high neshama from Olam Atzilut, okay, so you can learn all day, If you're not so high like that, you have to work also a little bit. That's also, it's fine. So why did Chizkiyahu take everybody, and put them in the Bet HaMidrash? Why, everybody's Olam Atzilut? What's going on? All of a sudden, right? Why did he do this? What was the purpose for that? So you know what the answer is? The answer is, this was an emergency measure, that he did. Emergency, Cherum. What's the emergency? The emergency was, his father, Achaz, he did so much damage, to the Am Yisrael. He made everybody Avodah Zarah. The whole country, This is what happens when the Melech is Avodah Zarah. That means everybody's Avodah Zarah. That's it. He's going to influence everybody. This is what happens. So he did so much damage. People didn't know Torah. They didn't know nothing because of Achaz. There's Rasha. His father. So he said, listen. The only way to fix this damage is to put everybody in the Beit HaMidrash. All day, 24 hours a day. I don't want anybody leaving from there. Don't talk to me about careers. Don't talk to me about parnasah. Don't talk to me about army. I don't care. I don't want no army. He said, I don't need any army. Don't worry about it. We'll trust in Hashem. That's it. Come on. And this was right, because when Sancheriv came, right, to attack him, he had no army. But Hashem saved him, made an S for him, saved him anyway. So he was right. But here's the thing, right? So you see from here, sometimes the Chazal, they make an emergency measure, because, they say that this generation is so low, we have to put everybody in the Beit HaMidrash, Otherwise, nobody knows halakha, nobody knows nothing, We're totally ignorant, we don't know anything. So the best thing to do in this generation is to put everybody inside, in the yeshiva, in the Beit HaMidrash. This is what Chizkiahu did, It was an emergency measure.
But
This is,
it didn't last long.
Until he died. Right? That was, how long he was Melech? 52 years.
Yeah, but then
That was a long time.
he was taken to Babylon or somewhere over there.
Not him. That was Menashe, his son. Right? That's something else. His son was Menashe. Anyway, the point is like this, right? Chizkiyahu died good. Everything was beautiful, perfect, right? He was tzaddik, right? He did tzaddik. He did teshuvah. So we see from there, right? And this is exactly what happened in this generation also. What happened was that after World War II, because of the Shoah, because of the Holocaust, the Jewish people got knocked out. It was a big damage to us. You understand? Because in Europa, there was over there many yeshivot, and Hitler, he came in there, he closed, everything was closed down. There wasn't one yeshiva left over there in Europa. There was many yeshivot there that were closed down. So what happened, right? Some of them went to Shanghai, China. Some of them went, to learn over there. They had to escape because they couldn't stay in Europe. So they saved the yeshiva by moving to China. There was also a yeshiva that moved to where, right? To Japan also. Japan. There was more. That's why they say there when the yeshiva went there to Japan, there was some Japanese people there that converted to Judaism. They converted until this day they're Jewish because of that yeshiva that they moved there. Right? This is what happened. So you see from there, right, that what happened was after the World War II came the big Gedolim, Chazon Ish, and all these came to Eretz Israel, and they said, what, in this generation, we want everybody in yeshiva. So they said the same thing. They couldn't do like Chizkiyahu. Why? Because Chizkiyahu was very powerful. He was Melech, he could kill you, You blessed with him, he'll kill you right there. What I mean? So they couldn't do like that, but they were encouraging everybody, what? Go to the Beit HaMidrash. Learn all day. I don't want you working. I don't want you nothing. I'll pay you. We'll pay you something. Go and learn there. Why? Because this generation is so low after World War II. The only way to fix it is that everybody should be in yeshiva. As much as possible. Whoever can go should go. So that's what you see. That's what it was. Same thing like Chizkiyahu, but that wasn't that strong like that. But anyway, the point is, right, that sometimes the leaders of the Jewish community, they see, they have to make an emergency measure. To save the Jewish people, because otherwise the Torah will be forgotten, chas v'shalom. The only way to do it is everybody in yeshiva. That's it, right? I don't care what you do. That's exactly the point. Baruch Adonai le'olam amen. Rabbi Hananiah ben Kashomer, that's the Kodesh Baruch Hu Tzedek Israel. לפיכך חיבר להם תורה ומצוות שנאמרו לך פרס למען צדקו יגדיר תורה ויאדיר.